Hey everybody, it's Karnak, your buddy, your pal. Welcome again, Star Wars Armada Explained. We're going to be looking at Commander Gherant today. So Commander Gherant was released with the Super Star Destroyer. He is Empire specific. You see the bottom right hand corner of the card, you'll see the icon for the Empire. Next to his point cost, which is 2. He is an officer, which you see there in the left hand corner of his card. You'll see that he equips to the officer slot. In front of his name, you'll see a little dot or bullet point. Signifies that he is unique. You can only have one of him in your fleet. His effect is very straightforward. It reads, while you are defending, the attacker cannot resolve critical effects. After you perform an attack against a ship, discard this card. So it's very straightforward. There really isn't much that I can break down. There's a few things I'll point out that are interesting about him. So it is as he says. Anytime an attacker attempts to resolve a critical effect against you, whether that is the standard critical effect or any modified critical effects, they can't do any criticals. Period. At all. It doesn't need a contain token or anything like that. You could equip him to any ship, and pretty much, regardless if they have a contain token or not, they don't need to even use the contain token. Any ship that attacks that ship can't use critical effects. The caveat to this is that as soon as that ship attacks another ship, he is discarded. It is interesting to note that squadrons aren't included in that, meaning you can flak squadrons all day long and you don't have to discard him. But as soon as you hit a ship, boom, he's gone. He's out of there. In terms of some debate as we've had for where is he useful, I'll be honest with you guys, even at 2 points, as cheap as he is, he's ultimately not as useful as some people are going to try to make him to be. That's personal opinion. But in terms of rules, again, I'll run through it real quick. Ship he's on, no critical effects can be resolved ever until that ship makes an attack against another ship. And as soon as that attack is concluded, he's discarded, and now that ship can now suffer critical effects. Potentially where you might see a seat for him, if I had to make any recommendations, on a Super Star Destroyer, but those officer seats are already so highly contested for other officers that, are going to bring more benefit. Like, for example, why not just bring a damage control officer for the 2 contains that you have that you can keep using multiple times? You might see him potentially, maybe, if you're playing like larger fleet games, on a Star Destroyer, like an Imperial Star Destroyer, where if you've got the points and the free officer seat, sure, put him on there. Nobody, anyone tries to shoot him, they won't be able to resolve critical effects on it. In a 400-point game, Super Star Destroyer, you could see maybe a use on a Quasar Fire. I don't know why you wouldn't put another officer on there that would benefit either its offensive or defensive capability in a different way. Again, maybe those officers are being utilized on other ships. Some people have made the argument that he's useful on Gazantes. But again, typically if Gazantes is, did their scatter get accuracy? If yes, they explode. If they didn't, doesn't matter if they got critical effects resolve on them. I just am not seeing too much of a use for his card, and there is no other like crazy interactions. There's no like special thing here. As some TOs like to remind me that sometimes cards are just made just to have them. They don't have to always be some huge, fantastical, great thing. I want to point out one interesting interaction he has, though, and that is with the Darth Vader officer card. Now, the Darth Vader officer card is that when a friendly ship is attacking, if it wants to reroll any die in its attack pool, if he's in range of Darth Vader can choke out the officer on that ship to give a reroll. I haven't reviewed his card yet, but at some point in the future I will. So, it's interesting to note the timing here, so please note the timing for Gherant. It says, after you perform an attack, you discard his card. While Vader's effect is, you discard him to reroll. So in this interaction here, Vader could actually discard him during the while attack to reroll some dice before he would have been discarded after the attack. So that is a legal interaction. You can Darth Vader officer choke him out, toss him aside before he would throw himself out of an airlock due to incompetence, I guess. So that was one thing I wanted to make sure I was pointing out. So if you're looking for a cheap officer reroll that is going to provide some benefit until you do need to choke him out and toss him out, that's an interesting interaction there. Otherwise, there is no other crazy things going on. Nothing else that I feel like that can be pointed out. Of course, if you feel like I'm missing anything or I'm not getting anything correct, please be sure make a comment. Let me know. I of course appreciate you guys' continuing to watch my videos. More content to come. And hey, I'll catch you all next time.